We should be live now. So welcome to our very first BombBomb coaching session with Alicia. We're super excited to have you. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. As everyone can see my screen okay? You can see my PowerPoint there. Awesome. Yep. All right. Well, yes, my name is Alicia. I am the national speaker at BombBomb, which is really just a fancy title for the evangelist. I've actually been with BombBomb for several years now. I started in a support role. I did sales for inside sales for 1.5 years. I did enterprise sales for 1.5 years, and now I've been national speaker for about 1.5 years. One of the reasons why I believe so strongly in video and why I'm so passionate about it and why I make a good evangelist is because as a sales professional on the sales side, I used this all the time, and I understand and have experienced the power of it, the way it's easier to generate responses, the way people respond to a video. When I was an account executive doing enterprise sales and you're outbounding to C-level executives, it's hard to get their attention. It's hard to break through the noise of the inbox. And you would not believe how many times I sent a video with, their name right on that whiteboard in that thumbnail. And the response that I would get over and over and over again was, okay, now you have my attention. So that's really the power of this. And what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to talk just a little bit more about why video. I know you guys are already on board, but I want to make sure that I have your mental buy-in as well. Because I know I've been doing this a long time. I spend a lot of time with people that are new to video. And the number one thing that keeps people from using simple video like this for communication is their fear and uncomfortability. So if I can get your mental buy-in as well, and you really understand why this is so much better than the normal way that you've been communicating, then it's going to help work through that. Okay. Then we're going to talk about the structure of a good video email. I'm going to give you guys some tips for video thumbnails. I'm going to jump into my Gmail and show you, navigate kind of through the Gmail integration, as well as show you the Chrome extension and answer all of your questions. And then we're going to wrap up with talking about some ways that you can work through that fear and that uncomfortability. And I know it's not always, I don't like what I sound like, or I don't like the way I look. Those are the two biggest ones. But you perfectionists struggle with this too. Not because you don't like the way your voice sounds, but because it'll never be good enough for you. So we're going to talk about working through some of that uncomfortability. All right. So we live in a very, very video-centric society. I'm sure you are hyper aware of this. It's all over social media. Pretty much any website you go to now, when you log on to a site, what happens? You start auto-playing commercials to you, right? They're marketing to you through video almost immediately because they know it captures people's attention. But humans have been communicating face-to-face for as long as we've been communicating, right? The written word came after face-to-face communication. Email and text messages came a long time after that. But we still communicate most effectively face-to-face. We respond to face-to-face messages. We make decisions from the emotional side of our brain. It does not matter how analytical you think you are. It doesn't matter how experienced and analytical the recruiter or the potential employer that you think you're talking to is. Our brains still fire and make decisions based on emotional things. So video activates that part of the brain. So it's really, really powerful for getting you face-to-face. And now in this climate, we've seen an even bigger uptick in video. I'm telling you guys right now, video is not going anywhere. Even when you get settled into your next role, the likelihood that you may continue using video in Zoom or other capacities is really high because culture has shifted and video is only going to be more and more important. A couple stats here for you guys on video. These are primarily focused on video for marketing, but it's representative of the way people consume this kind of media. 64% of consumers make a purchase after watching branded social videos. Consumers are getting enough of that know, like, and trust from the videos they're seeing on social, especially videos by influencers, that they feel comfortable to make that decision. This is a big one for you guys. 59% of executives say they would rather watch a video than read the text, okay? And then this last one, viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video, as compared to only 10% when reading it in text. So you have a powerful tool here to not only get you noticed and communicate more effectively for you, but the person who's receiving that message is able to absorb it and connect it and retain it so much better as well. So relationships through video is what we really focus on at BombBomb, right? There's two different kinds of video. You have your video for marketing, which is social video, YouTube, Facebook Lives. Most people would kind of consider that more in the marketing space. What we're talking about is more this one-to-one video to get you face-to-face in front of people, because relationships make the world go round, right? It does not matter how much technology ever comes into our work environment, our job searches, referrals, all of these things are built around relationships. And so video is not a replacement for you or getting face-to-face, but it enhances your ability to start to build those relationships faster. I just want to highlight the difference for you real quick so you can see it in a split screen. So on the left side of the screen here, we have a plain text email. The communication isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with this email, but this tells you literally nothing about this human being. Whereas a simple video, right? Immediately you're seeing an entire email typed out that doesn't tell you a lot about the person, but even that quick video thumbnail here of both Melanie and Jesse, you can already have more of a sense of who they are just from that video thumbnail without even the rest of the message. Okay. Employers.
Hey, Alicia,
yeah.
I'd like to also comment in on this, because one of the other things too is not only do you get to get a sense of who somebody is, but it also saves you a ton of time. Like, I'm all about maximizing my time. I got a lot of things going on, and you know what? Pecking out that email that you see on the left, I tell you what, it takes some time to make emails like that. And it actually, look, this bottom one, 53-second video. Do you think it took longer to type that on the left or 53 seconds? And which one has the bigger impact? Which one actually, you know, impresses the person more, right?
Yep, hands down, it's a time saver. On average, we speak about 4 times faster than we type. I'm a slow typer because I work at a video company and I hardly ever even have to type emails. And I will tell you, I get frustrated. If I'm on an airplane, back when we used to get to travel, if I'm on an airplane responding to emails and I can't do video, I feel so irritated and frustrated that I have to type out emails, because it does take more time. And I know that it's not going to be as effective messaging. I want to show you guys a real quick video here. This is actually a video of Steve Jobs from many, many years ago, as you can see. But it's really cool because he's talking about how some research done on tools and humans' use of tools and all that. But what I want you to have in your mind about this is that as you are using video, as you are prospecting, as you are, reaching out to recruiters and potential employers, you are what they're hiring, right? You are what they are looking for. All of the video is doing is it's giving them an opportunity to get to know you. And that's really all it is. So check out this video of Steve Jobs talking about tools.
The best analogy I've ever heard is Scientific American, I think it was, did a study in the early 70s on the efficiency of locomotion. And what they did was for all different species of things on the planet, birds and cats and dogs and fish and man and goats and stuff, they measured how much energy does it take for a goat to get from here to there, right? Kilocalories per kilometer or something, I don't know what they measured it in. And they ranked them, they published a list, and the condor won. The condor took the least amount of energy to get from here to there. And man didn't do so well, came in with a rather unimpressive showing about a third of the way down the list. But fortunately, someone at Scientific American was insightful enough to test man with a bicycle. And man with a bicycle won, twice as good as the condor, all the way off the list. And what it showed was that man as a tool maker has the ability to make a tool to amplify an inherent ability that he has. And that's exactly what we're doing here.
Right? The tool is amplifying the ability that you have. That's all this is really about. So I want to move in to some more tactical, strategic stuff here. But as I'm moving into this, the word that I have here, really, visibility beats ability. And that's where it comes into this tool piece, right? Video is amplifying who you are and all of the value that you bring to a company. However, if those potential employers and recruiters don't ever get to see who you are, then it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to give you guys right now is some tactical things, number one, to make sure that they're actually seeing and playing your videos. And then we're going to go into the app and I'm going to show you some of the other functionality in there. But the first thing I want to talk about is the structure of a good video email. Okay, so obviously you have your subject line, and I'm going to talk just a little bit more about subject lines on the next slide. But you want to be really clear or pique their curiosity. Okay, and I will give you some more ideas for this revolving around video, but your subject line is the first indication that you have to tell them that they are going to get an opportunity to meet you inside of that email. I put video in almost every subject line of an email that I send that has a video in it, and we'll talk more about that, okay? Now, if you are sending from within Gmail, Outlook, Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn, all of those places, you want to make sure that you do put text above the video to let them know what they are going to discover in the video, okay? This is your opportunity to tell them why to play the video. So something to the effect of, hey, Trevor, I recorded you a real quick video as a follow-up to our phone call. Press play and please let me know if you have any further questions, right? You're letting them know what it is that they are going to find. I
love that. I love that. I do that all the time. It's a call to action, right? Sometimes, especially if you're using BombBomb on social media, you're just putting that link and, people are kind of a little bit skeptical about clicking links and things like that. But when they see the preview, with their name on it, right? And here's another little tip that I always use. Put the word thank you above, okay? Everybody always wants to know, like, you're showing appreciation. They always want to know, like, what did I do? Why are you thanking me? Like, what? Oh my gosh, wow, right? And so they'll press play, but have a call to action, like she said, some text above it that says, hey, thank you, Alicia, appreciate, everything. Here's a little recap of our meeting or whatever it is. Yep. And press the link down below to play the video.
Yep. Now, there's also another really important technical reason why you do want to make sure you put text above the video. Now, again, this is for if you are sending directly from inside of Gmail or Outlook. If you're sending from our mobile app or the web platform, we actually take care of it for you with the banner above your video. However, if I was sending a video from my Gmail and I didn't put text above the video, and that person's inbox pulls an inbox preview, right? Because sometimes you see this after the subject line, you see the text of the next few lines of what that email is, okay? If their inbox pulls an inbox preview and you don't have text above the video, that inbox preview is going to be a bunch of jumbled code. Okay. So very important. You want to make sure that you put text above the video. Okay. Now, after you've got your text above the video, then you've got your video there, right big front and center. That's where you want it. You want it to be very visible. You don't want to have them scroll to the bottom of an email with a whole bunch of text up top. The purpose of the video is connection and clarity. Okay. These videos do not need to be 4 minutes long. No one is going to watch that video. That's going to do more harm than good. We put that timestamp right on there that lets them know how long the video is. Anything up to 1 minute is going to have the seconds. From 1 minute and 59 seconds up through, it's still going to say 1 minute. Once you hit that 2 minute mark, then it says 2 minutes. If you can always keep your videos under 2 minutes, that's going to be a huge benefit to you. Okay. The only time when you should be sending someone a 3, 4, 5 minute video is if you are giving them very specific information that they asked you for that is going to be communicated more effectively in a video. Okay. If someone is not asking you to give them a bunch of information, don't send a 3 minute or a 4 minute video. Okay. All right. Now, after your video, you want to have text below the video as well. Sometimes the text that I put below the video is something as simple as thank you or we'll chat soon. But I want you to watch what happens on the screen if you don't put text below the video. So if you're distracted and you're looking at your phone, this is important, okay? If you do not put text below the video, there is a chance that that person's inbox truncates the message with those dreaded 3 dots, and now they don't see that there's a video there anymore, okay? So as long as you put text under the video, their inbox is not going to squish it up, okay? So even something as simple as below that video that says thank you will work. Before I learned this, because believe it or not, you can work at BombBomb for a while and not even know some of these tricks. Before I learned this, it would happen to me sometimes. I would send someone a video. I would tell them there was a video in the email and they would say, I couldn't see the video. And you're always baffled, like, I know I put a video, and they're like, there's no video in that email. It's because their inbox truncated it, okay?
Alicia, I've been using this for years and I never knew that myself. So I love this. This is such a simple little trick, but it makes all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Chris Savage has a question for you.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to unmute your mic?
Sure. So does your email signature count for the text below the video, or should you add like a paragraph or something?
It doesn't need to be a paragraph. You can even just put it something as simple as thank you, but your email signature does not count. Your inbox or the inboxes view that signature as something different than the body of the email. So even just something as simple as thank you or we'll chat soon or happy Friday, as long as you put a line of text underneath the video, you'll be good to go.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And then lastly, call to action there, right? It's important to have a call to action in a lot of cases. Not every situation needs a call to action. A thank you doesn't necessarily require a call to action, but I would often encourage you, if the message that you are sending does not need a response or doesn't require a call to action, maybe it's an unnecessary message. Just something to think about, okay? All right, so I just want to show you now that we've talked about the structure. I want you to see what this looks like, okay? So I've got my subject line up here, video for Danny, so nice to meet you in Dallas. Quite often, actually I would say 99% of the time that someone gives me their business card, this is what they get. They get a video from me where I hold the business card up rather than the whiteboard with their name, because now they're seeing that business card that they gave me, right, to contact. So it's that familiarity right away. They're gonna press play on that video. I have really, really great results with that.
That is so smart. Yeah, that is so smart for job seekers. You know, once they open things back up and you can hit up some of these career fairs and stuff, and you're networking and you're meeting recruiters and companies, like, and you're getting their card. That's a good one right there. I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good one.
Trevor, I'm so glad that I'm teaching you things today. That makes my day more fun that you're learning new things as well. So yeah, that business card, great trick. They have that recognition right away. It draws their eye in, right? Oh, that's my card, okay? And then as you see underneath the video there, I literally just have the words Happy Friday, enough to make sure that that message is not going to get truncated, okay? Now, over on the right-hand side, this is a video that I sent from our web platform, okay? So the web platform, we have a banner, like mine says BombBomb because I work for BombBomb. We have templates like birthday templates, thank you templates. If you send it with no template, it's fine. We still kind of take care of that above for you. But as you see here, I don't have anything above because it's got my logo, but then below there, same thing. I've got my text. Your signature line appears automatically if you're sending from the web platform, okay? We still do the GIF from the web platform. I just did not capture the GIF file for this one when I made this deck. All right, so subject. Did you have something you wanted to add in there, Trevor? It looks like.
I had a question for you that I get quite frequently, which is about the email signature. And including and maybe when you get into your actual account, you can kind of walk them through, but including your picture, like you have there, your picture and your email signature.
Yep.
I get that question a lot, how to do that. So anyways, we may get to that at some point.
Yeah. So this is on the web platform that you can do that, and it's really, really easy. And then anything you're sending from the web platform or the mobile app will automatically have that, but I'll definitely show you that. All right, so let's just talk about subject lines for a minute. I am not a subject line expert. However, I will tell you that you could talk to 10 different subject line experts and they would all tell you 10 different things. So I'm going to give you a couple notes here with some stats and then my anecdotal experience, okay? But obviously with subject lines, sense of urgency is helpful. Personalization is huge, okay? And you also want to be really specific what's in there. And then I have in quotes there, personal video. But you can see, this is a screenshot from my mobile inbox. 97% of every single email that I send that has a video in it says video for the person's name and then whatever the rest of that subject line would be. A few things, okay? Number one, having video in the subject line only increases your open rate by about 8.3%. That's the hard data we have on that. It's not a huge bump, but it's something, okay? But here's the thing, having video in the subject line increases the play rate. Now, another thing, this is more anecdotal for you. I don't have data on this, but people in general, we scan our inboxes, right? You open up your inbox and you look to see what's important. The word video is a disruptor. They likely do not have a lot of emails in their inbox that have the word video in it. So you are likely catching their attention, okay? Now, their name, having the recipient's name in the subject line increases it by 26%. Again, we're very psychologically drawn to our name. So when they open up their inbox and they're scanning through and they see video for Tia, oh, you've caught their attention now in two different ways, both by capturing that psychological draw with their name as well as the disruption with the word video, okay? So video for Dan, I just left you a voicemail. Every single time I leave a voicemail, I follow it up with a video. You should do that. Video for Andrea, I didn't forget about you. Video for Tia, it was so nice to meet you in Boston. Right? You're still giving them what that subject line or a little teaser as to what's in there, but you're just breaking through the noise somewhat on that first touch there, okay? All right, subject lines. Now, name, you guys have seen, obviously Trevor does this. I saw some other people with their little whiteboards. I would highly, highly encourage you to get a whiteboard, because again, same thing. We take the first 3 seconds of the video and we loop it into the GIF, okay? Now, you do have an option to change your thumbnail to a static thumbnail. I would encourage you not to do that. The animated GIF is way, way more effective. So when you press that red record button, and you'll see it when we jump into the account here, when you press that red record button, it gives you a countdown. It says 3, 2, and then the screen flashes and then you're recording. So all you have to do is in those first couple seconds, or hold the business card up or whatever it is, and then just keep talking. All right. So don't overthink it. Seriously, don't overthink it. It doesn't need to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect video thumbnail. But just take advantage of those first 3 seconds and you can do something compelling. So the name is one way to make that really compelling. However, there's some other things that you can do, and I'm not going to share all of them with you, but I just wanted to share a couple other ideas with you. Detail. Something specific to that person that is going to capture their attention, okay? So in this case, this guy, he was doing cold prospecting, and he could not get Omri to respond to him. So what he did is he went to Omri's LinkedIn page, okay? Saw that Omri was a big fan of gourmet coffee from all over the world, drew the little coffee cup, put Omri's company logo on that coffee cup, and that's what he sent in that video thumbnail. As you see there, Omri actually responded almost immediately and said, "You got my attention. I'll look up my calendar and book a time to chat."
Guys, this is huge right here. I want to tell you. So I talk about this all the time on the show. Build commonality, okay? So as you're looking for these recruiters and you're trying to get conversations started, like this is a great example right here. You go to the all activity section of their profile, right, on LinkedIn, and find things that they're interested in. Like, what are they liking? What are they sharing? What are they commenting on? And if they're active on LinkedIn at all, you can find stuff like this and build commonality right there. This is awesome. Love that.
So another thing you can do for detail is use our screen recorder. And this is one of my favorites. So this is one of our sales guys, Shane, and he is using the BombBomb screen recorder on Sam McIntyre's LinkedIn page, so that first 3 seconds when Sam opens up his email, what he sees is his own LinkedIn page. I've seen recruiters doing this with people's personal websites for, real estate recruiters that are recruiting agents. They'll do the same thing. They'll go to that agent's website and turn on the screen recorder so that those first 3 seconds, what they're seeing is, again, something very familiar to them, right? When Sam opens up his email or opens up his LinkedIn profile and sees Shane on his LinkedIn profile, the likelihood that he is going to play that video goes up so much higher, because that's that commonality, the familiarity, oh, this guy does his research, right? These are all things that you can do to just differentiate yourself. Again, the tool is here to amplify who you are, not to be some magic pill. So there's some things that you can do with this tool to really, really stand out.
I've used the screen recorder to do so much stuff just like this. I love that. That's a great example. And you can do that with recruiters too. Go to their LinkedIn profile and just do a screen recorder of their own profile, and you will get their attention. I promise you, you're going to get their attention. They're going to press play. Like, I want to ask you a question. Would you press play? Right? If someone made you a video with that much detail with your own profile in it, would you press play?
Right.
I think you would.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to jump into my Gmail here for a minute. And if you guys have been holding on to questions, let's start throwing the questions this way. because I am just going to navigate through here a little bit, show you a few things, and then want to make sure I get lots of questions answered. And then, like I said at the beginning, we're going to close out talking about working through some of this fear and uncomfortability and give you some of my tips and experience of helping people work through this. Okay. So I'm in my Gmail. I have excessive tabs, so please forgive me. I am one of those people. This is how I keep track of what I need to go back to. So this is my Gmail though, and we have a Gmail extension. Now, our Gmail extension is powered by our Chrome extension. So even if you don't use Gmail, you can still add our Chrome extension onto a browser, and I'm going to show you the benefit of that. So I'm going to show you both, okay? I'm going to show you how to do this directly from inside of Gmail, as well as how to use the Chrome extension to take that video and put it into a non-connected email program. For example, if you are sending from, you know, MSN or GoDaddy, you can do that. You just don't have it built right into your email client, as well as you can use the Chrome extension for LinkedIn messages, and I'll show you that as well, okay? So if I open up a compose window, I opened up two here. You can see this looks basically just like a regular Gmail compose window, other than down here, I've got the BombBomb power wheel, okay? The BombBomb power wheel will appear in your compose and in your reply window. So you can do this from replying to an email as well, directly inside of Gmail. This red record button, this is my cue that this is how I can record. So if I want to record a video, I just press that red record button. It's going to open up my recorder here, being a little bit slower because of the screen share and Zoom and all that. Uh-oh, is my... Sometimes...
Yeah, Alicia, so I've tested this out too. While we have the Zoom going, it may not actually work. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do both at the same time, because it's drawing on the internet.
Totally.
To do it.
Yeah, sometimes it does, and sometimes it, we'll see. And I think my video froze too. I don't know, we'll see. I feel like my video froze too. I'm all sorts of internet problems at the moment.
Yeah, I think it just draws too much power when we're doing both at the same time now, you know.
Yep. Dragana was saying that she said in the directions you should close other things. This is absolutely true. If your camera is not loading up, quite often, if you have FaceTime or Skype or something else open like that, it won't necessarily open up. So if I press the record button, normally it would open up my camera. I'd be, oh, it's going to do it this time. No, maybe. Okay. So that's how you would record. You press this red record button again, and then it gives you that countdown, okay? So that's how you would record, but there's other functionality in this Gmail Power Wheel that I just want you to know about real quick, okay? Number one is snippets. Now, snippets you can use here inside of Gmail, as well as you can use them from mobile. What I love about the snippets is that this gives you the ability to type out an email and use that same email over and over and over again and just change the video. So for example, the amount of times that I get asked for my speaker bio before I go to an event or do a webinar, I built a snippet with my speaker bio. So if I come back here into my Power Wheel, okay, it's the one that looks like a piece of paper. If I click on that, it opens up my snippet library. If I press this plus button on my speaker bio, it just pops all of that text right into the email. So now if I have the text typed out for the email that I want to send, and I'm sending this to multiple people, but I want to personalize the video, then you just type out your email however you normally would. Once you highlight it, it's going to give you an option to save it as a snippet. And then you can just save it and then use that same text over and over and over again, and then just swap out the video. You also can save a snippet with a video in it if you want. But for what you guys are going to be doing, most likely Your videos should be personal. You want them to be personal every time, okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say on that note, guys, don't make the mistake, I see this all the time, of recording a video and using it over and over and over and over and over. Like, there is a space for that. There is a time and a place for that. But right now we're trying to build relationship with decision makers, right? That's the whole purpose we're using this. And so don't make the mistake of making a templated generic video that you're going to use over and over and over, because they're going to see it. They're going to see right through that, right? Personalize it for sure.
There is something so powerful about someone getting a personal video that they know is personal because you said their name. It's a game changer. Yes, sending videos, mass videos to everyone might generate a little more attention than a plain text email, but that's not the goal. The goal is to build relationships, just like Trevor said, and you're going to do that most effectively with a personal video. Okay, so tracking. We do tracking inside of Gmail that lets you know when people are opening up and playing your videos. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know you're not all Gmail users, but this is real-time tracking, okay? So when someone opens your email, it pops up to the top with this orange envelope. When someone plays your video, you've got a green play button. So, you know, Danny played this video 3 hours ago, but then he came back to the email 3 minutes ago. That's a real-time timestamp, okay?
We're finding, Alicia, we're finding, and this is something that I didn't really tell you beforehand, but the average statistics that we're finding is that job seekers their videos being played around 15 times, okay? And what's happening is they're sending their video in to the recruiter who interviewed them, and then the recruiter's forwarding that email around the office, forwarding it to the hiring manager, forwarding it to other people that are in that decision-making process, and they're watching the video. So that video is getting played over and over and over and over again. It's kind of like you're going viral, like within the company, you're going viral. It's so cool.
That's awesome. Dan just said in chat he had that happen yesterday with a recruiter. So yeah, that tracking is a really, really great insight into knowing when things are happening. Another thing that I want to tell you about tracking, you know, we send things when we're thinking about it, right? You're prospecting for jobs, you're sending things right now. The tracking lets you know when someone comes back to it. Maybe they weren't ready to have a conversation with you when you sent that email today, but 4 weeks later, they come back to it and they've been holding on to it. That tracking is going to tell you if 4 weeks later they go back and open it up. And if you don't know who the email was, for example, if I was like, who's this Dan Sarnecki guy? I don't remember what email I sent him. Clicking on those 3 dots opens up a view option, and I can click and it'll actually show me what the email that I sent was. I can open up that email, okay? So if you see tracking notifications from like weeks or months ago, great, check out what that email is and see if you should call that person, because if they open up your email and play that video and within a couple minutes they get a phone call from you, what does that tell that potential employer or recruiter? It tells them that you pay attention, right? That you are relentless, that you are right? It tells them all sorts of things about you just by the fact that you saw they opened the email and you weren't too scared to pick up the phone and follow up with them. That's powerful.
Alicia, we got a great question here from Eduardo. Eduardo, you want to come in, unmute your microphone and come in?
Yes, thank you, Trevor. I sent my thank you for a recruiter last Tuesday. I've been tracking it down and it showed it open, but it has not been played. It has been three days already. Should I send an email to follow up and with a video, or what's the next step? Maybe it got filtered out. I'm not sure what happened. It wasn't played.
So was the first one not an email? You said you sent it from the app. Did you send it as an email from the app or as a text message from the app?
As an email.
Okay. So I would say go back and look at your email and see if there's any of the things that we talked about that may be why he didn't play the video. For example, if there was no text with that email and it was just the video, you might want to send it again and put a line of text above the video that says, thank you so much for your time. I recorded you a quick video, press play, right? So you may want to try resending it. There's so many number of reasons why someone may not play the video. But there's those helpful things that we talked about: subject line, letting them know that there's a video right in it, having text above and below the video, as well as having a compelling thumbnail that either has their name or something. So, I mean, you can try resending it. You could take a look at it. You could try maybe just sending a plain text thank you and see if you get a response. But what are your thoughts on that?
Eduardo, here's something that I would do too. Is this person on LinkedIn?
Yes.
They are on LinkedIn. Okay, great. So one of the things that is really, really cool about BombBomb is you can take that whole email that you created and you can turn it into a little short link. Okay. So that whole email that you made with the video in it and everything, your signature, all of it, right, can be all compiled into a little short link. And so what I would do is I would go to them on LinkedIn and send it to them in a message on LinkedIn. And it'll actually pull up a preview and it'll still get their attention. Now make sure, like Alicia was saying, you still want to have some text above it saying, hey, I made you this video, you know, and basically a call to action so that they actually play it. But I would recommend sending it to them on LinkedIn. That's you know, they may, some people are better in their inbox than they are, you know, in their emails.
Yeah, their LinkedIn messages are probably way less crowded than their inbox. So that's a perfect segue, because I do want to show you guys how to use the Chrome extension in LinkedIn, because this is huge. Okay, so let's see, I'm just going to go to Trevor's is what I'm going to do. Trevor, this is the safest and easiest thing to do.
Love it. Let's do it.
So I'm going to open up a message here. Okay. I did not send Trevor a video when we first connected on LinkedIn because we had already connected face-to-face over Zoom. But if I wanted to send Trevor a video message, all I would have to do is go up here to my Chrome extension. Okay. I'm in LinkedIn right now. If I click on this Chrome extension, it's going to bring up my either camera only, or if you want to use the screen recorder, you would toggle over there. But I'm going to do camera only. I'm going to go launch recorder. Again, this may or may not open up my video. No, it's not, which makes it hard. Oh, it's not going to show the camera, but it still might show you the copy link option, which is what I want. So once I'm done recording my video, going to be slow.
Yeah, it's just slow because we're doing this on Zoom right now.
Always. Demoing live is always a little bit risky. Okay, I'm not going to do it from the recorder. I'm going to grab a video that's
just grab any old link that you got. You got your video library there.
Yep. So you can access your entire video library, but the same thing that happens when you click on a video is going to give you the same option after you've recorded a video. So it's going to give me the option to either copy the URL or copy the HTML, okay? That HTML is for if you are putting it into an email, okay? HTML is only for email. It's important designation. The URL is the vid link. If I copy that URL and I go back in here to my message and I just put that link in there. Now, for the purpose of time, I'm not going to add text with it, but you still want to add text with it, because when I click send here, it is actually going to populate the video thumbnail. I don't know why LinkedIn is doing this, but it's going to show on your end a blank thumbnail, but on their end, it is actually showing the thumbnail image. One of my colleagues and I tested this. I'm not sure why it does this, but it is showing the video thumbnail on their end. But then
I got it right here. So guys, I'm gonna see if you can see that. So I just went to my LinkedIn message, right? So on your end, you're saying it's blank, but on my end, right? She just sent me that, and I've got it right there.
Yep, that video thumbnail. So again, all you have to do is you go to the Chrome extension. Okay, you either record your video or if you're grabbing one from the video library, after you record the video, you copy the link, you put it into LinkedIn, okay? The same rules still apply, that you need to put text with the video to tell them why to press play on the video. You don't have to put it below the same way you would an email, but you need to put text with that LinkedIn messaging to tell them why they actually want to press play on the video.
Hey, Alicia, another thing too is, oh, I'm getting an echo there. This preview that you're seeing right now where it's blank, I've noticed that just by refreshing, sometimes then you'll see it too.
Huh, interesting.
Right? You may try a refresh and that might help. It might.
Hey,
oh, it did.
There
That's
it is.
Interesting.
So guys, yeah, I noticed that because I use this strategy a lot. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I send messages on LinkedIn with video in it all the time. And it just works really, really, really well. Uh-oh, where did Alicia go? Did she?
I'm still here. My camera got messed up somewhere when I was trying to record videos, and I don't know if it's going to recover at the moment.
That's okay. Well, let's open it up in the meantime.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. Let's talk about some questions here. So Dan says, to your point earlier, this is where you want to do the thumbnail version because you cannot have the preview, right? So Dan, you want to elaborate on that? You want to come in?
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey Alicia, Trevor. Thanks for letting me ask and be here. I send a new one of the types of videos I send is kind of an evergreen video with every new connection that I have. So I'm sending out hundreds a week. I update that video at the beginning of every month, so it's more topical and I can talk about the month. I'm not doing it individualized for every new connection just at a month, and I'm experimenting with that to see how it goes. My question though is that there's no way to get a preview when you send it through LinkedIn. So you have to do a thumbnail, right? Or is there a way to actually have that 3 seconds?
So it does it static. However, I want to pull up some other messages here and see if I've got one that I can show you, because even though it does it static, it still will show. Oh, that's the same one I sent. It'll still show the words on that. Well, let's see if I refresh this one. It'll still show the words on there, even if it is a static one. So you can do the static thumbnail, but I still generally, yeah, that one didn't have a whiteboard. I still generally just leave the GIF, but you can do that. You can change it. But if you hold that board up in those first couple seconds, LinkedIn is grabbing that first frame. So it would still show the whiteboard.
Yeah,
I think I'm better understanding the question here, Dan. So are you saying the GIF doesn't show your GIF, like your 3-second loop?
Yeah.
And then I'm not in the perfect position with my sign and waving and smile and in that 1 second that it takes the beginning. So I have to redo it, which is no problem. I'm just saying that's the one time that I have to use the thumbnail
To actually change the thumbnail.
Yes. See, have you guys noticed that? Have you played around with, after you record, there's a little button off to the side that says thumbnail, right? Have you guys seen that? So I know we've got some people that are new here, some people that are not. There's a little, like, after you record your video, there's a little option there to record a thumbnail. So let's say I started my video like this. Here, I'm going to go to speaker view. Let's say I started my video like this, all right? But maybe I wasn't smiling. Maybe I started my video or maybe this was upside down, all right, on accident. So I can actually, without having to re-record the entire video, you just hit the little thumbnail button and you can actually change it back.
Yep.
So that's a great point, Dan. I like that you bring that up, because on social media, the GIF, the action, the actual animation does not show. So they're not going to see you doing this. So make sure you have a really good thumbnail.
Yeah, and the other question I was going to ask Alicia, and I think I put this in my little note when we registered, but it's tough to do that thumbnail. There's no countdown for it, right? And so you have to like have one hand on the trigger button and the other one holding whatever you're holding. And so I didn't know if that was could go to a dev team, or if that where I would put that into. But just want to make that suggestion.
Unfortunately, I would tell you, Dan, that no one is going to put any dev resources towards that, and I'll tell you why. I would say 99.5% of our customers use that animated GIF, because when we went from a static thumbnail to an animated GIF, we saw video play rates increase by 49% immediately. So the ability to change the thumbnail is a leftover from the older version. So unfortunately, I know what you're saying, the frustration of trying to like hold and wave and do the thumbnail, but I would say, don't worry about it. I would say just hold the board and smile and then click the thumbnail with the other one, honestly, if you're really trying to get that static thumbnail. Because
yeah, it's really born out of the idea.
Totally.
Yeah, it's really just born out of the idea that you can't have the GIF in LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have the, and so that's why I was thinking
exactly.
It, but
yeah.
Sense.
No, I understand the frustration there for sure. That makes sense. Any other questions before we talk a little bit, before we wrap up talking about some of that uncomfortability? Any other technical questions, things that you guys are curious about that I can show you?
Michelle, I see you talking, but I don't hear you. Your mic does not show to be muted. No, your mic is not muted, but I cannot hear you. Can you guys hear Michelle?
Nope.
No, I can't hear Michelle either. You want to put it in? You want to put your question in the chat? Yeah, put your question in the chat, and we'll get to it here.
Any other
Anybody
questions?
else while she's typing? Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question concerning the Outlook add-in and any ideas for a similar tool to the Gmail links that you have.
So we do have an Outlook extension for, I'm not sure about all the technical specifications on the Outlook extension, but I will tell you that the Outlook extension is not as robust as Gmail. And a lot of that just comes into the technical capabilities of developing with inside of Outlook versus developing inside of Gmail. But one of the better things that I could recommend is using the Chrome extension to grab that video file and use the HTML for Outlook, because again, HTML is email. Just grab the HTML, and when you paste that into your Outlook, it'll populate the 3-second GIF with the big video thumbnail.
Yeah, Tommy, that's exactly how I do it, because I use Outlook. So I'm going to do a screen share real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to kind of demo this. All right. So let's say I'm in Outlook. Okay. I got my Outlook up here, and I need to do an email. So I go up here to my Chrome extension. Okay. Let me grab one from the video library. I'm just going to go up here and grab the HTML code. Okay. And I copy it. And when I paste it right here, boom.
Yep.
Right. So what I've always done, and this is something I just learned, was I usually put text up top, but I haven't been putting text at the bottom. So this has been great for me even to learn that text above and text below. That's great.
Yep. Did we get Michelle's question in chat there? Yep.
All right. Michelle says, when you're in the BombBomb website, how do you get the Gmail screen you showed earlier? I do have a Gmail address.
Okay, so Michelle, I did not go through the BombBomb website at all. I just went to my regular Gmail, okay? But the way you get it added to your Gmail is through the Chrome extension. So what you need to do is you just be inside a Chrome browser, search for Chrome, BombBomb Chrome extension, or if you go to the Chrome Web Store, you can search BombBomb. And then once you add it on, when you log back into your Gmail from that same browser, it's going to have you put in your BombBomb credentials, and then you should be good to go.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys over here. When you're inside of your BombBomb platform, over here, there's this little drop down. Let me move this out of the way real quick. There's a little drop down right here, and it says integrations.
So that won't connect your Gmail though.
Oh, it won't?
Nope. The only thing it will do is when that Gmail integration, oh, well, there, yes, if you go to the Chrome extension, sorry, I thought you were clicking on the Gmail, but yeah, if you go to the Chrome extension. Yeah,
I was going to show them, this is how, if you just go to the down box integrations, it pulls up, look at all these integrations, guys. Look at all of these different, I haven't even scratched the surface of what all this can do, but let's go just the Chrome extension. This is the tool I use the most, okay? So you definitely want to make sure, click here to get the BombBomb Chrome extension. You click on that, right? And it takes you over here and you can just download it, right? Yep. But I use that more than anything, guys. It's right up here. As you see, I've got that BombBomb Chrome extension. I use that every single day.
I saw one more question in there that I wanted to answer. I'm just sending someone a message letting them know I'm not done here real quick. I apologize. I saw a question about lighting. So BombBomb does not require any specific lighting requirements. If it's showing up too dark in BombBomb, which it's not showing up too dark in other applications, I don't know that would necessarily be BombBomb related, other than if the recorder was just capturing it darker. But in regards to lighting, the best thing that I can recommend is getting you don't need to go buy any special equipment, just get a desk lamp or something and have that light pointing on your face, okay? You wanna make sure that the light's coming from in front and shining on your face rather than coming from behind you. If the light's coming from behind you, it'll make you look like you're in the witness protection program.
Well, and I've got a ton of light coming in because I've got this window over here right to the side of me. So it's coming in, hitting the side of my face. But yeah, I mean, the room, be conscious of your lighting, right? If you're in a room that's dark, if you're in a room that has a lot of windows, sometimes too much light is a bad thing.
Yes, right? Absolutely, because it'll blow out the video and they won't really be able to see your face. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So that is a great question because lighting is important, guys. I do want to tell you that. Like Steven, I don't mean to pick on you here, but I noticed like you've got a dark background going on, right? Very dark in the back. So it's not and again, this isn't directed at you or anything, but like it's not inviting, right, to the participant on the other end of it. Totally. Right, it's very dark. So I would highly encourage that you get some lighting in there. Be conscious of your background, right? Because we're going to be sending these in to employers, potential employers, recruiters, right? Giving them a glimpse of our everyday life, right? And it's pretty important stuff. Your background is important, very, very important.
Yeah, it is. And it's a perfect segue into kind of wrapping up talking about getting comfortable, because lighting will make a huge difference on your comfort level. And I will tell you, this happened to me literally just a couple days ago. I have an 8:10 stand up every morning with my team. And I had just sat down at the computer and I hadn't turned on both the kitchen and the dining room light because I work from my dining room now. And I logged into the Zoom call and my first reaction, I was like, whoa, Alicia. And then I was like, oh, the lights aren't on yet. Once I turned on the lights, then it was fine. So lighting does make a huge difference in your comfort level with how those videos look. But I just want to wrap this up for a few minutes and talk about this working through our fear of being on video, because like I said, this is the number one thing that I hear from people over and over that keeps them from doing video, that keeps them from being successful by building relationships faster and getting face to face. But the first thing that I just want to mention on this is that this is not something that you need to get over, okay? This is something that you're going to need to work through if it's holding you back. Before I started in this role for BombBomb, and this is not to bag on men at all, but it was primarily men that had been out on the road teaching and speaking and educating on BombBomb. And the way that this topic had always been approached was, you look like what you look like, you sound like what you sound like, get over yourself, which is true to a certain extent. However, for me, once I started going out on the road and getting on stage and realizing what a deep fear this was for a lot of people that were keeping them from being more successful in their business, I shifted the way that we need to talk about it, because it's not just about being on video. These are very human problems and beliefs and negative thoughts in our heads and scarcity and all of this. I saw Stephen just say there that having Zoom, all of these Zoom meetings has helped. It absolutely has helped. But just want to touch on a couple things here. Okay, so this is really about working through our own biggest obstacle. And the first thing that I want to tell you on this is that this is really, really normal, okay? You are not alone. Almost anyone that you have ever seen doing video at any level, whether it's YouTube or Facebook Live or Trevor or myself, or even highly paid actors and actresses, they have had to work through this uncomfortability. I'm going to share a couple quotes for you here, okay? Megan Fox: I never look at myself, even in still photographs. I panic if there's a monitor in the room. I immediately go into like an anxiety attack. Johnny Depp: I stay far away as I possibly can. I don't like watching myself. Reese Witherspoon, right? We can all agree that Reese Witherspoon is an objectively attractive looking human. She said, I don't know who feels good looking at themselves. Nobody, right? And then this last one, I had to censor a couple words in there from Javier Bardem, but I can't even watch that nose, that voice, those ridiculous eyes. I can't handle it. But when I'm doing it, I don't see my nose or hear my voice. It's like there's something stronger, bigger than that, and I need to express it. So I just want to encourage you that this uncomfortability, this I don't really like the way I look or I don't like the way I sound, is really, really normal. And even people that are being paid obscene amounts of money to appear on camera on a regular basis still have a certain amount of uncomfortability with the way that they appear on camera, okay? So you are not some mutant who just can't get past this. This is really, really normal. You're in good company. We've all felt this way. We are used to experiencing the world from inside of our head, okay? Even when you're on Zoom, you're not watching and analyzing yourself the same way as when it's being played back. When you watch a video of yourself being played back, now you are experiencing yourself from outside of your body. So you are hearing your voice different than it sounds in your head. You're seeing your face different than the way you feel. So it's really, really normal, okay? The second thing that I really want to chat with you guys about on this is your value, okay? The value that you bring to your prospective employer and the entire world is in who you are as a human being. It is not in whether you have crow's feet or not. It is not in the amount of gray hair you have. It is not in whether you feel like you need to lose 15 or 20 pounds. That is not the value that you are bringing to the world and to your prospective employers. And I want you to think about what these potential companies and employers are going to miss out on if they don't get a chance to see you and meet you. Oprah
Amen
Winfrey.
to that. Amen to that.
Thank
You
you.
guys are more valuable than the words on your resume.
You are way more valuable than the words on your resume. Oprah Winfrey has struggled with her weight and her appearance for her entire life. Okay. This has been a very public thing that she has been open about and struggled with. Oprah Winfrey's net worth is about $3 billion. Oprah, when she started doing the Oprah Winfrey Show many, many years ago in the 80s in Chicago on WGN, she was not comfortable with the way that she looked on camera. Okay. She did it anyway. If Oprah Winfrey had not been willing to show up and appear on camera until she felt like her body looked perfect or she felt comfortable with how she looked on camera, the world would not have Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey would not have $3 billion. So again, the value that you have to bring the world around you and your prospective employer is hidden if they don't get a chance to meet you and see you and hear your voice and understand who you are as a human being. Again, the video is just a tool to amplify who you are and to let them get to meet you earlier on in that process, okay? Last thing I want to remind you of in this is that we are all our own worst critics, okay? The things that you think about when you watch a video of yourself, no one else is paying attention to. I can tell you that with almost 100% certainty, okay? I have one eye that is smaller than the other. No one has ever noticed it. In fact, when I say this on stage, people will come up to me afterwards and be like, barely, right? No one notices. I notice it, especially if I'm tired. If I've recorded a video and I didn't get a good night's sleep, it's one of the first things I see, that one of my eyes looks smaller than the other. No one cares. This is not an obstacle that is going to keep you from getting hired. This is your own obstacle in your head of, rather than focusing on the value that you have, you're choosing to focus on those that negative voice and the negative self-talk. So I know we're way over. I just want to whip through these real quick. Okay. So these are your 3 R's for working through it and not getting over it. Number 1, I want you to remind yourself of the value that you have to bring these prospective employers before you press the record button. If you've been in sales, you know, the smile before you dial, the pump yourself up before you get on that scary call to close that huge contract. It's the same thing. I'm not going to play the whole video, but before you press play on that video, if you are struggling with this fear of it, I want you to pump yourself up. I want you to remind yourself of your value like Jessica does. Oh, where did we go, Jessica?
Look, I can be a shark. Now my whole house is great. I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my mom. I like my sisters. I like my dad. I like my hair. I like my haircuts. I like my pajamas.
I'm serious, guys. Pump yourself up before you record the video. Take a quick few minutes. Remind yourself of all the incredible things that you have to bring prospective employers, okay? Your number 1 rule, don't rewatch it, okay? So rewatch it, don't, because it's the 3 R's. If you rewatch it, you are going to want to re-record it. And then you're going to rewatch it and you're going to want to record it again. And then you're going to want to record it again. Don't rewatch it. If you've messed up the first time and you want to re-record it, great. If you stumbled your words, if you sneezed, great, just press that re-record button and record it again, but don't watch it back, okay? There is no benefit that comes to you watching that video back except the negative self-talk that's gonna take over, okay? And then the last one is repetition. The more you do it, the easier it gets. We have asked our clients, how many times did it take you pressing that record button and sending that video before you stopped caring? The average answer is 5. Some people, it might take a little bit more, but the average is 5. So if you want to send Trevor videos, send Trevor videos. You can send me videos, but the more you do it, you're going to be more comfortable with this. And this is what I want to close with, okay? Gratitude is very, very powerful. Harvard and the Wharton School of Business did a study on gratitude and the way that people would respond to it. They divided, they were sending out requests for feedback on cover letter, okay? The first set of data came back and people had provided their results, and now they split the test group into two pieces, okay? The first group got this email. I just wanted to let you know that I received your feedback on my cover letter. I was wondering if you could help with a second cover letter I prepared and give me feedback on it. The second group got the exact same email. The only thing that changed was the second line, "Thank you so much. I am really grateful." That was the only difference between these two groups that they sent for this study. The group that received the line, "Thank you so much, I'm really grateful," saw a 106% increase in compliance with the request to provide feedback. Gratitude is powerful, powerful, powerful. So this is what your mission is, okay? To get you more comfortable with doing video and getting that repetition under your belt, okay? I want you to think of the names of 3 people that you can say thank you to, okay? Doesn't matter who it is. I want you to think of the names of 3 people that you can send a thank you to. Doesn't have to be someone in your prospecting world, okay? Send them a thank you video today. That's it. 3 thank you videos today. And then you just get to sit back and enjoy all of the endorphins that you created from making a positive impact on someone's day. You are going to get good responses from a thank you video. I can guarantee you that. That's kind of what I've got for you guys. So I know we went way over. Trevor, my apologies.
Oh, no, you're good. I absolutely love that last piece right there, guys. That is killer, killer. Like, literally, go tell some people how much you love them, appreciate them, you value having them in your life. Send it to them in a video. First of all, you haven't done that, okay, in a long time. There's probably some people in your life that maybe it's your mom, you know, like you need to just tell your mom, "Hey, Mom, I love you, you know, and I appreciate you." And the endorphins that she talks about, you're going to feel so good that you did that. They're going to feel so good that you did that.
Yep.
And it's also going to get you the practice that you need. It's a win-win-win. Guys, take that and run with it. 3 people. And I would encourage you to do, you know, 2 to 3 videos a day, every single day. Like, get used to it. Build the repetition, like she said. So, you know, 2 to 3 videos a day, every single day. Send videos to each other in this group, right? Like you can, like, I'm going to actually create a pod, if that's okay with all of you guys. It's like an accountability group. I'm going to create a pod on LinkedIn. I'm going to get you all in there, okay? And I want you guys to hold each other's hand a little bit on this, right? Like, let's do this. You got this, guys. This tool is actually really, really simple to use. And it kind of baffles me a little bit when people struggle with it, because it's actually really, really simple. So let's hold each other accountable and let's make an impact, and let's get you guys landed. You guys down? All right, unmute your mic and let me hear if you're down. I want to hear it. Sarah, are you down?
Heck yes.
All right. Dan, you down? I know Dan's down. Dan's the man. He's down. Eduardo, what about you?
I am, Trevor.
You in? I know Tommy's in.
I'm in.
Steve?
I'm absolutely.
We got 2 Steves in the house.
Trevor, I got to roll out of here. I've got to fly, but thank you. Thank you for having me. If you've got more questions that come up, send them my way. I'm happy to help, okay? Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
see that? Hey, thank you so much, Alicia. Appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. And let's do this again soon.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So before we end this call, and I know we are a little over, we're 20 minutes over. I'd understand if anybody needs to hop out of here, but questions for me while I got you for just a few minutes? Is there anything that I can help you with? Come on, guys, this is your time. If you got a question, Let's hear it. All right, well, if there's no questions, I expect, like, I'm gonna put this pod together. I expect to see videos flying around everywhere. Guys, get comfortable with this. And I will say a couple of key points on what she was talking about. Don't rewatch your videos. Like, that is something that I picked up pretty early on. Don't rewatch it because you'll get in your own head. We all got stinking thinking, right? And you'll get in your own head, so don't do it. If there's something you leave out of your message that you know is important, then re-record it, that's fine. But don't re-watch it, okay? You'll just get in your own head, so don't do that. So, all right, guys, that's it. You know what your mission is. 3 videos today. That's 3 videos today. Send it out to somebody that you love and care about and you appreciate. Send them a thank you and watch what happens, okay?
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, y'all have a good one.
You too.